So the next thing that we're going to look at is just some basic keyword research and tracking. So now we're going to look at some very basic keyword research, because I only really want you to find sort of like what would probably be your top 10 keywords to start tracking. And I want you to think about what people are going to search for. So we'll use the Google predicting tool in any case, just to see what it thinks that people are searching for. I'm going to run through quite a few different examples with this. I've just put a screenshot there, an example, earth conscious gifts. So we've got all these different keywords that have come up. You've potentially got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different ideas just from that. And so what we're going to try and aim for is for the 10 keywords to mostly just be about what people might be searching for if they're going to come to the home page of your website. But if you have lots of products and services, you can do the same thing for all those products and services and just kind of get what are the main keywords that people are searching for around the main things that you're actually doing. If you do interior design, but when people are searching for you, they're really going to search for an interior designer, right? And so if you put in interior designer, then you can see that what's the ones in purple are the ones that I've searched for before. Okay, so that doesn't necessarily mean that anyone else is actually searching for them. The ones that come up here are the ones that Google is saying a lot of people search for. So they're searching for interior designers, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast. Now I live on the Sunshine Coast, which is why it's showing me all kinds of locations that are close to me. But if I clicked on interior designers, Sunshine Coast, and then I see what I did then, I just hit the space bar after that, and then it will bring up a whole stack of other things. So we've got, I had to go and have a look at this because I was like, what is BC? I've never, Sunshine Coast BC. But of course it turns out that there's a Sunshine Coast in Canada, in British Columbia, and so that stands for British Columbia. Anyways, so people are searching for interior designer, Sunshine Coast, interior decorator, that's probably a different kind of commercial interior designers. They want jobs and courses. But what you can do is you can go interior designers, and then you can just put the letter A, and then it will bring up everything to do with A, B, and then it puts up the letters. Now in this case, it's mostly just giving us locations. So we might go back to Sunshine Coast and then put in A, put in B, best interior designer, Sunshine Coast, C, D, and it just will kind of bring up other words that you can use to try and get those top 10 keywords for yourself. Okay, so let's go to another one. So we see if we just put in dance costumes, there's dance costumes Australia, dance costumes jazz, contemporary for girls, hip hop Brisbane. So there's a stack of keywords there. Then if you go, because it's obviously an online store, dance costumes online, and hit the space bar again, then you can see it's got dance costumes online Australia, stores. Of course, if you're in a different country, you want that one. Dance costumes online shop. And again, with any keyword thing you search, you can put a letter there. So we've got hip hop dance costumes online Australia. Now that's a very long phrase, but clearly that's something people are searching for. B, C, and it will just bring up all kinds of other things. So what you want to be looking for is keywords that are relevant to what you're selling. If you don't sell classical dance costumes, then that's not a keyword that we're going to track. If you don't sell custom dance costumes, then don't worry about tracking that keyword. I mean, you can write it down and collect it if you like, because maybe that might be something you decide to add to your store if you know that people are wanting that. But at the moment, we're just trying to figure out what it is that people are actually searching for. Let's have a look at another one. So just say if we did allied health, so one of them has like an allied health service. So what do people actually search for around that? They might search Allied Health Australia, Allied Health Services Australia. What is an allied health assistant? What if I put Sunshine Coast? So again, Allied Health Sunshine Coast, Allied Health Services Sunshine Coast. So yeah, so it's just about what do you do and what location are you trying to target if you're a local business, or if you're an online store. Again, it's going to be about putting in what you target and then putting in the word online. Just say yoga wear. So again, we've got Yoga Wear Australia, Brisbane brands for men near me, Oz. If we go online, because it's an online store, hit the space bar. Oh, nothing. Okay, sometimes you've got to hit the space bar and go back. So relaxed yoga pants, Bikram, bamboo, bootleg. So you can see how there's all kinds of things that people are searching for in regards to that. And so all you're trying to do now is just collect as many keywords as you can, at least 10, that are relevant to your business. And then you're going to put them into that tracking software. There's another tool that I use all the time, which is the Google Keyword Planner. It's actually more technical than what we've done now, like way more technical than that. So I'm going to go into that later when we start looking at all of your different service pages, and when we want to know, get more of an idea of which keywords are more popular than others to start using on your site. But usually I'll be tracking like hundreds of keywords for every client. But right now, all I'm asking is for you to just get at least 10. So I recommend pausing the video right now so that you can go off and do this research for yourself, get those 10 keywords. And if you've found this useful, and if you think other people might find it useful, then please do share the YouTube video playlist. You can get the link in the video description below. That would be greatly appreciated because I really want to help as many businesses as possible. Okay, so now we're going to look at some various tracking softwares, but firstly I wanted to show you what they're actually tracking. So if you put in a list of keywords into the tracking software, what it's going to do is give you a position overall for where you're ranking. Now it's never going to be 100% accurate because you could rank differently on every single person's computer depending on what they've searched for before. And so what you're going to be seeing when you track it in the software is a bit of an average. And also in tracking softwares, you can often specify which country you want to track and also which locations you want to track. So if I'm in Australia, but I really only want to see where I'm ranking for the Sunshine Coast, then I may be able to track that, or I may be able to track Queensland, or maybe able to track Brisbane. It depends. You can't always track your location if it's a small location, but you can usually track cities. But in any case, just say one of the keywords that I want to rank for is Cafe Sunshine Coast. So firstly, we've got the maps listings here that are coming up, and some tracking softwares will allow you to track where you're coming up in the maps. Now, usually there's only allowed to be an ad, and then you only get 3 businesses that come up in these maps, and then you can go and view more locations and you can see all the other businesses that are there. So it will tell you whether you're in the top 3 or whether you're, not in the top 3 in the tracking softwares. The critical thing is where you're actually ranking in this organic section, because this is the bit that people usually go to. They often just scroll down and come to the organic section. I'm sure that's something that you do as well. And so this is where you want to find out what position you're ranking in. So when the tracking software comes back and says that you are number 1, it means that you're number 1 here. So that you are the first organic listing that comes up for Cafe Sunshine Coast. And if you're number 2, number 3, now there's only usually 10 listings on the first page of Google. So if you come up as number 12, that means that you're actually the second listing, the second listing on the second page of Google. If you came up as 22, then you're going to be the second one on the third page of Google. Okay, so I've made it nice and big so that it's easier to see. So if you, again, we've got Cafe Sunshine Coast, and these are the maps listings. So if you were this greenhouse cafe, then you're coming up number 3 in the maps, so that's nice. But if you scroll down, you'll see that they're not actually coming up at all on the first page of Google. So we might need to go to the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th page of Google to actually find what their real ranking is. But if you own this greenhouse cafe and you were going to Google and you were typing it in, or if you were somebody who loved this greenhouse cafe and you were going there all the time, then on your computer, you might find that the greenhouse cafe ranks higher. So you might find that the greenhouse cafe comes up as number 3 or 4 in your searches. As the business owner, you're not going to get an accurate result if you just go into Google and search for your business. Okay? So that's why we need some kind of tracking software, even if you only have 2 or 3 keywords that you're searching for, because of the fact that if you go into Google and search, then it's just not really going to give you very accurate results. If you really, really don't want to use tracking software, then there is one other option that you can use, which is to go into a new incognito window, and we could search for Cafe Sunshine Coast in here. And then you might find that you would get different results because it's taken out your search history. But again, it still doesn't really give you a completely accurate result. But if you are only tracking 2 or 3 keywords, then it might be an okay way just to get at least a more accurate baseline of where you are. You'd have to go here and search through all the listings to try and find where you actually are. So that's why I use tracking software, because I don't have the time to go through and search in Google for where I'm ranking, and also it doesn't give me accurate results because I'm always going to my clients' business websites. So when it comes to tracking software, I use a company called Pro Rank Tracker. There'll be a link in the description below. I've used various programs in the past, but this one I found to be like the most affordable and most useful for me. They do actually have their base product where you can get 200 keywords for $25 US a month. But look, there are other various free tracking softwares out there. I don't know how good they are. I haven't used them, but you can do a Google search to look for free softwares. So I just did one like with Free Rank Tracker, and it came up showing me this one here, which is linkassistant.com. This one you have to download onto your desktop and use it from there. Doing this, there is 15 best rank tracker tools, and so it goes through various ones. Pro Rank Tracker is like the one that I use, but there's this one here, the Hoth, that lets you do some up to 10 keywords, seems to give you some kind of free tracking. So I would suggest, because we're going to try and aim to get you to track 10 keywords, that this would be an option if you really don't want to pay any money right now to try this. For 100 keywords, it's $15. So again, that might be okay for you. But if you're going to track up to 200 keywords, then the $25 with Pro Rank Tracker seems to be more affordable than what theirs is, because theirs goes up then to 500 keywords for $50. So just have a search around, find some kind of program that you're happy with. This is like Pro Rank Tracker, the one that I use. But ultimately, it probably doesn't really matter if you're using the same program. We'll show you the changes in the rankings, which is probably more important than the absolute position that you might be right now. But the key thing is that you want to at least find out what your initial ranking position is for these. So even if you sign up to Pro Rank Tracker, it's free for 7 days, and just get your initial website ranking for these keywords, so that you've got something to go off, so that you can be happy when you try it again and see that your results are getting better. So please pause the video now, choose a tracking software and get those top 10 keywords at least in there. Only if we're tracking the data can we know what's actually happening. And so I can't help you in any of the Q&As or in any questions if I don't know what your baseline was and where you are now and what you've actually done. So now we're going to look at claiming your business profiles. So this is the really important step that will actually help to improve the rankings of your website for your keywords, whatever those keywords may be. We needed to look at your business name and domain name in that first step just to make sure that this next step is actually going to be effective. So, because every time that you list your business on a Maps profile, a social profile, a directory, then it's going to actually create a link back to your website. And that link is like giving your website a vote of confidence. So this is not about reviews. It's got nothing to do with reviews. It's about putting your domain name in your profile where it says website. So this is the thing that's critical. This is the thing that actually gives you the link from wherever you're putting it back to your website. So I'm going to run through these next profiles because they're really important. And I'm going to do a video for each one of those. So if you already have these profiles set up and you already know that you have a link to your website on them, then you can skip whichever ones are not relevant to you. But otherwise, you're obviously welcome to watch them all. The first thing that we need to look at is listing yourself on these maps, if it's possible, in your country. You also need a real physical address so that Google can verify that you're real. If you have a work from home business, you can use your home address and you can hide it so that people who are looking at the profile can't see the address. Okay, so first I'm going to look at the sites to list on if it's possible in your country, and it also depends on what kind of a business you are. So for these maps listings, if you have people who are actually coming to your business premises, so you have a physical address where they can come to, or you're providing a service where you actually go out to somebody else's house or home, then you can list yourself on maps. However, I want you to just bear in mind that if you're an online store, brands, organized artists and other online only businesses aren't eligible for a Google My Business listing. Ironically, in order to qualify, you must make in-person contact with customers in the stated hours, even though none of us are really allowed to do that unless we're distanced right now. But yeah, so this one here is really for local businesses. So whether you're a local business with a physical store or whether you're a local business that provides services. So if you're not a local business, then you can skip this and get onto the next section. If you are a local business, then great, we're going to go and have a look at Google My Business and what you need to do there. So once you click on that link, you'll come to this page and it will ask you to sign in. So you can sign in using your Gmail email, or if you've got some business address that's connected to a Gmail email. If not, you would have to create a Gmail email in order to be able to log into Google My Business. And then once you log in, it's going to take you to a page that looks something like this. And the key critical thing that we're looking for in here is to add your business name, address, your phone number, and your website link. These are the things that Google is going to be looking at to help build trust for your website. You can add anything else you want as an extra, but those 4 things are critical. Also make sure that your business name, address, and phone number are on the Contact Us page of your website. And that's actually going to be in the info section. So you want to click on the info section to be able to add that. So just to show you what one should look like, for the last however many years, since like 2011, my business has been called Fruitful Online. So if you search Fruitful Online at the moment, then it will come up over here with this Google My Business listing. Now, because I'm logged in, it also gives me some other information here, so I can go directly in and edit it from here if I want to. I'm actually changing all of my businesses over and sort of amalgamating all these different names that I've had in the past for things into one, because going forward I'm going to be specifically focusing on SEO training and ebook publishing. So SEO ebooks and then all kinds of other ebooks as well. Since I have to change my business name and my website now on all of my maps listings and my social media profiles, I thought it would be an opportune time to show you where you enter this data, and then also if you're in the position where you want to change it, that you would be able to do that too. And I'm going to go into I'm in my info section there, and so I'm going to request to change my name. So going forward, my website is going to be largehope.com, and then I'm going to have Large Hope SEO, Large Hope Publishing, Large Hope some kind of charity foundation. And so I'm going to ask Google to change that. So that's going to be under review. So what we want to do then is go over here and put in the link, which is the most important thing, and that's going to be under review. So this is what I want you to do if you've already got your Google My Business profile. Is the key thing is that you want to go in and you want to make sure you've got your actual domain name in there. Now, when you're in the Google My Business profile, it's important to then also add as much as anything that you can possibly add in here. So you want to add kind of what your business category is. So if you've got an appointment URL, you can put that in there. So I've got a whole stack of services added here. Probably going to leave those for now, but some of these services I'm probably not going to be offering in the future. So products is a whole new section. So, you can get started there. And so for me, in the future, I'm going to have products that I can put in there because I'm creating SEO ebooks. Like you might have heard me say, I was in the middle of creating an SEO ebook for web developers, but then with the whole COVID-19, this isn't probably an ideal time for them. They're super busy. So instead, I'm focusing on you guys. But yeah, if you've got products, you can put in the product photo, product name, you can create categories for it. And then what happens is that the products will come up. So I'll show you, you can see here that their products are actually coming up. We've got a whole stack of products in there. So people could actually just come and, click on these. And then they can click on buy, and it's going to take them, to the website straight away for that specific product that they can buy. So you probably want to go in and put whatever is your most important products to you. And then you can actually create like a mini website. So it sort of creates this mini website based on posts that you've done in the past. It puts like your reviews and testimonials in there, puts sort of like your mission statement in there, and then a whole range of images. So I'm going to change this over. Now this could be an opportunity for you. If you don't have a website yet, you could create this like mini website, and you can put some information in there about yourself until you've actually got, a website that you can send people to. If you do that, then, and I don't want that to be my main website on my site, but I'm going to change that, and then I'm going to go in and change that. So if you actually search, so just say you went in and you searched for like SEO Nambour, because that's what my address is, and you'll notice that in the maps here, I'm coming up still as like the Fruitful Online SEO, and that will take me through to whichever website that I nominate. So if you nominate this as your website, then you'll have a little website thing that will come up in here for now while you're waiting to get your proper website. So that can be an option. SEO. You can't do any SEO on this website. I don't know how much value it actually has to create it if you already have a proper website, but I just wanted to let you know so you can see that that is an option there that you can create. But the key thing, the absolute key thing when you come into Google My Business is that what you're actually wanting to do is to go into the info section, and if you change nothing else, the most important thing is going to be so that where you actually put the link in there to your website. That's the thing that's going to make the biggest impact when it comes to the SEO on your website. Okay, so now we want to go and have a look at Bing places. After the Google My Business listing, if it's a new one, then it will ask you to verify it. So it'll either phone you, or it will send you a postcard in the mail to verify your address. So what I tend to find is that it's easier to actually create the Google My Business listing to get that verified, and then to just import that listing into Bing places. So if we go over to Bing, and again you want to sign in, and it will often let you sign in with your Google account, Facebook, Microsoft work account. So you've got a whole range of ways to actually sign into Bing. If you don't already have a Bing Places account, then when you log in, then it's going to get you to search for your business, and then you can import the data from Google My Business if that data exists. So this is my preferred way of doing it. But of course, if you already have a Bing Places listing that's already in there and it's already verified, then perfect, you can just go in and make sure that you've got all the data in there. So apparently you can manage your Bing listing from your phone with an app if you choose to. But I've logged in now to my account because again I want to change everything on there. It's now going to be Large Hope SEO. And then the key critical thing that we were saying is that if you update nothing else, it's this link here to your website that's the most important thing. Obviously you really do want to sort of fill in as much as you can in all of this information that's in there. And then you can put in links to all your other accounts as well, which is great. That would definitely be a good idea, but I'm just going to be in the process of changing those in a minute. So I'm not going to put those links in there right now. And then there's also Apple Maps, Apple Map Connect. So again, if you're allowed to do that, then it's just a simple process of clicking on that link, going to Apple Maps, signing in. And then you want to click up here to add a place. So I'm going to put Large Hope SEO. I'm just going to click to add a new place. No, they never have SEO. So it looked like the best primary category for me to use was marketing. I tried to suggest search engine optimization, but they weren't interested in that. Then you can enter in your opening hours. So the key thing here is that I'm going to be putting in the link to my website, and then I'll fill in the rest of those later because I'm just about to change some of those URLs. So yeah, the key thing with all these listings is obviously to put in your business name and your address. We want the same business name and address on every one of these, and you can put in your phone numbers or emails or pictures and all kinds of whatever else is that you're able to put in there. But the key thing is, if you do nothing else, to just at least put in your website address, and you can always come back to these later at some other point and do things. Google My Business is great to be able to just add some images, fill out information, blah, blah, blah. And so I definitely would recommend doing that at some point, but right now it's the link that we really want. If you have some kind of a business where you're going to be allowed to list yourself on Google My Business, Bing and Apple Maps, I want you to go do that now. So you can pause the video, Go do that with your maps listings. And if you found this really useful, and if you think that there's other business owners out there that might also find it useful, please do pay it forward by sharing the link to the video playlist, which is in the description below. So the next thing that's important is making sure that you have a profile on any of the relevant social media sites. For most local businesses and online stores, these profiles that I'm going to go through now are going to be relevant to all of you. These are very high authority sites. So there's a company called Moz who kind of scores the authority of sites and gives them a score out of 100. And these social media sites have all got scores like in the 90s. And so they're very high authority. And so if you have a link from these to your website, it's going to really help to improve the trust of your website by Google. Okay, so the first thing is Facebook. And what we want to do is, if possible, have a business and personal page, and both of them having some kind of link in your profile to your website. So the first thing I'm going to look at is my business Facebook page. Now, I told you that I had multiple names in the past. So Fruitful Online is what it's been since like 2011. I also at some point was calling myself Beanie SEO to do with SEO training. And then I decided to change it to Golden Cat SEO. But now everything is going to be branded under Large Hope. And so I definitely need to make a change to these. So I want to change my photo. Okay. But the key thing in your social media that we're really trying to do is to get that link to your website. I want to go into the About section, and we're going to edit that, Large Hope SEO, and I want to edit that name as well. Here it might take up to 3 days before they're going to accept that change. So then I'm going to come down here, because what was a critical thing that I said is that we needed to edit the website. So I want to edit this page info up here, and that will take us into the section here, largehope.com. So I put that in there, and we're going to save that. Now, if you wanted to, if you really want people to come to your address from Facebook, then you can put your address in there. You can put your service area. You can select up to 10 neighborhoods, cities, or regions to define your service area. And you can put like your opening hours in there. You can put all kinds of other information in there. But the key thing that we're trying to do, if we remember today, is that we're trying to get this link in there to your website. Refresh the page. Of course, because it's actually changed the name. So we've got Large Hope SEO. I'm just typing that up in the top there now. Okay, so like it said, it probably take 3 days to change my name on that. But it has changed the @ thing, and it's changed the website there, which is the key thing that we're interested in. So I've just gone in and changed my cover photo. Okay, so that's your business profile. And if you're not sure how to create a business profile, then obviously you want to go and probably just like do a Google search. Again, if someone wants me to create a video on that, I can do that, but I'm going to assume that most people can figure out how to create their Facebook profile. But what we now need to do is, now that we've got the business page organized, is to go have a look at the personal page. So if you go into your personal page on Facebook, and I thought that was so cool, those cats. Love animals. Anyways, if you go into the About section, this is another spot where you can actually put your contact information. So, and you can also, like at the moment, my phone number is in there, but only me can see it. Well, of course, everyone watching this video. At least you know how it works and what's possible. But in any case, I don't usually answer my phone unless I know who's calling. You can put your email in there, your address in there, but the key thing that we really want in this profile, so that people can actually find your business if they find you, is to make sure that you've got this link in here. Now you'll also notice in there that it enables you to add another website too. So I actually have another website, so I'm going to put that one in there as well. But the key critical thing that we want from this is to make sure that if you go to the overview on your page, that it actually has a link there to your website. And this other information, you can decide whether you want people to see it or not, but we want to make sure that the links to the website are public. Now the other thing is that you can go into the work and education section. You can add a workplace, Beanie SEO. So I'll put that in there for the moment, and we can, and then hopefully that will change to Large Hope. So then again, when people go to your overview, they're going to be able to click through to all these business pages as well. So they've got the websites over there, but they've also got these business pages. So they can click on that and it's going to take them straight to your business page. I recently went to the About section on a lot of business owners' personal profiles, and hardly any of them had like links through to their business pages on Facebook or had links to their actual websites as well in that section. So I'd highly recommend checking your profiles and personal profile and making sure you have that. So for Facebook, we want to create the personal one with the links to your website, the business page with the links to your website. And then with respect to SEO, what I would suggest is that you make a plan to post about every service or product on your website, and you want to put a link to that service or product page in the Facebook post description. On your business page now, you can share it onto your personal page if you want, but on your business page now, you would do a post, anything, but what I'm going to do is take that domain name and then I'm going to write some kind of a post, la 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 la, and I'm going to put in the link there to that page on my website. So that's for Facebook. You want to create a personal and business page. The key thing is the link to your website in the profile, and then you want to make a plan to post about every service and product on your website, and then you're putting the link to that service or product page in the Facebook post description. Okay, so the plan with Twitter and LinkedIn is pretty much exactly the same as what you did with Facebook. You want to add the website link in your profile, and then whether Twitter or LinkedIn is going to be useful to your business long term is only something that you can know. It's very different for every business, but the minimum that you can do is at least have a look if you've got 10 pages and products or pages or service pages or blogs or whatever on your website. If you've got 10, 20, 30, make a list of those, and then every couple of days put out a post with a link to that particular service or product. And you can use scheduling software like Hootsuite or some other scheduling software if you need to. So basically then what you're doing is you're getting a link from this platform back to every relevant, these platforms, back to every relevant page on your website. But I would recommend probably posting at least once a month so that it looks like you're actually still an active business, and within whatever posts you're doing, making sure that there's a link to some relevant page on your website. Okay, so we're going to now go through Twitter and LinkedIn, so where to actually go to add this website link. So if we go to Twitter to start with, okay, so we're on my personal Twitter profile here, and I need to change this link since I'm going to a new website, but that's where the link to your website would show up on your profile. So we want to go in and edit the profile. And so this is where you're going to make sure that you actually have a link to your website in there. So that's the key critical thing. And then we're going to save that. And now there's the link from my personal profile that is going through to my website. Now we're going to go into my business profile. Okay, so actually when you go in there, it will look like this. So you want to go into your profile. And again, the thing that I'm trying to do is get a link from my profile through to my website. So I'm going to go down here and again, put in a link to my website. So that's the key critical thing that you're going to do on Twitter. With any posts that you're doing, I mean, I can't link back to my website at the moment because of the fact that the website isn't created yet. It's still in the process of getting created. But what you would ideally do is, even if you're doing like a fun Friday fact or something like that, then you could have like a link to the homepage of your website. And same with sort of, you know, whatever posts that you're doing on Twitter, the idea would be to sort of have a link back to a relevant page on your website. And then if we go into LinkedIn, so that is my business LinkedIn. So what we want to do is edit the profile so that we can actually put a link in there. So at the moment, if I hover over that, you know, that would take someone to my website. So you just want to click on all of these things to find out where it is. So I want to make sure I've got a link in there. So also in the overview section. So if you've got the button there and then the overview section, and we want to put a link in there. So now when we come back, and now if you go and refresh the page and you click on this link to visit your website, then that should take you through to the website. Again, with LinkedIn, you want to post things with links back to your website. Now this is my personal LinkedIn profile. So again, you want to have a link on your personal profile to every website that you have. So we go to the contact info. So you can see here that there's a whole stack of information in here. So I'm going to go here and change that. And this is probably, so my channel with the SEO training is actually under my name now. So now what happens is that when someone comes to my LinkedIn profile, click on the contact information, and they'll be able to see website, YouTube channel, etc. So anything that you actually post on your business profile, then you can reshare that on your personal profile. And like I said, you know, you can spend time over this week and the next coming weeks making those profiles look as awesome as possible. However, the key thing is going to be to have this link to your website. You could make this profile look as like absolutely awesome, but without this link through to your website, it's going to have very little SEO value. Okay, so the next one is Instagram. Now Instagram doesn't have as much direct SEO value as the other ones, because Instagram, the only place that you can actually put like a link is in the profile. You can't actually put links in any of the posts that you do on Instagram. Again, you know, this profile link is still going to be really important. So we're going to go over to Instagram now so I can show you where that is. So this is on my personal Instagram, and again you can see this is where the website link comes up. So what I want to do is try and edit this link. Okay, so it turns out I'm actually on my business profile there. So what we want to do, I'm logged in with the business profile, and so we actually want to put the website link in there. Okay, and I probably am going to change that email at some point as well, and then we submit that. Okay, so now I want to log into my personal profile. So again, this is where you're actually going to be putting the link. Don't email me at this email because I never respond to that email either. So I'm going to be getting a whole new email. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend trying to email me any of the emails that you see, because they may no longer work or I might not respond to them. Okay, so now we want to go. So if we go back to my profile, and now you'll see that I've got the link there to my website. So that's really all that you can do in Instagram. When you do a post on Instagram, write stuff in the description there, and you can put hashtags and all that kind of thing. You can put a link in there. It won't be a hyperlink. People would have to copy and paste it out of there. So really, whenever you're on your profile, then you can write something in here like click the profile link to see more or something like that, so that you can encourage people to click on your profile link. And if they click on the profile link and go to your website, then that might indirectly help SEO, provided that once they get there, it's actually relevant to them and they stay on the website and interact with the website. With Instagram, the key thing is to add the link in the profile. Where Instagram can become really useful to your business just to get traffic to your website is if you actually have a service, but you create things with that service. Maybe you create decks or switchboards or kitchens or something that you can actually take pictures of. So taking pictures of the work that you've been doing and then putting them up onto things like Instagram is a great idea regardless. And again, you can always tell them whether it's your products or whether it's images of things that you're creating. Tell them to click on the profile link to go to your website. Okay, now Pinterest. So again, with Pinterest, you can create a business and a personal page. And again, we want to add the link in the website profile. What you can do with Pinterest is that you can pin every image that is actually on your website to some kind of relevant board on both of these profiles. You can also do the same kind of thing you do with Instagram, where you take images, take pictures of what you've created or your new products. And you can actually create new pins and you can put a link back to your website from those pins. So I'm going to show you that. So Pinterest is different to Instagram because every single image will link back to a page on your website. And so this is a way to bring traffic to your website, which could indirectly help SEO. So I'm on my business Pinterest page now. And previously this Pinterest was actually linking to a YouTube channel. And then when you get through to this section, you want to go into the claim section. And again, I'm now going to be putting in this website. So I'm now going to paste this into here. So you can then click here to claim your website. So you can get these special things here if you want, but I'm just going to click on done. So now if we go back to my profile, we can see that we've got the link here to the website. And then I want to log into my personal profile. So this is my personal profile. Again, I've got the website link there is the critical thing, and I'm going to be changing that over now. So on this one, you can click on that little edit arrow there, and then we'll go down to claim, put that in there. You can claim it and then done. Now when I go back to my profile on my personal Pinterest, it's going to have the website in there. Now the difference with Pinterest is that you have like all of these boards, and what you can actually do is pin images from your website. So in order to get images from your website onto Pinterest, what you want to do is go to your website. Now there's no point me going to my current website because there is no images that we can use. So I'm just going to show you an example on my brother's website. So I've got like a little, I don't know if you can see that, but it's like a little Pinterest pin button up here in my browser. And so I can click on that and it will bring up all these images from the page that I can pin onto Pinterest. So if I then went like this, and so this is my personal Pinterest, so I might want to like create a board there, and I'd go, so on my personal board, I don't mind, promoting something that's my brother's products. So I'm going to create this board called Smart Strength, and then that image is now pinned on my Pinterest. So if I go up, I can have it go and have a look at the pin. And if we go back to my profile, you can see how I've got a new board now that has Smart Strength on it. So if I want to pin some more images, maybe I'm going to pin this one. And so what you can do in here is you can write, some information about the product. Usually if it's pinning it from your website, it will have information in there. But if you want to edit that, then you can click on the little edit button then, and you can change what's written in there. And you can put hashtags in there as well because of the fact that people search in Pinterest itself. So a key thing to think about is what someone might search within Pinterest if they were interested in whatever your image is. So when it comes to pinning images, if you've got products and services where you've created something that you can take pictures of, then Pinterest is perfect. But if you have like a massage website or a counseling website and you've just got pictures of people and it's not really actually that relevant to your business, then it's not going to be useful for anybody when they're searching in Pinterest. They're not really going to search for those kind of things. But still, it would still give you like a link back to that page on your website. But it's not really going to be very useful compared to the fact if you've got some kind of product or if you've got a service where you've created something. So I hope that kind of makes sense. So I've just gone and pinned like 6 images now so that the board actually kind of looks full. So hopefully in the future sometime, if I go and search for pure power in Pinterest, in the future at some point, that we would hope that my brother's products would show up there. And if I search for pre-workout formula, at some time in the future, we would hope that his products might show up there as well. So that was pinning images from a website that already exists. But if you actually, want to create a new post, so we'll go to the business profile. Okay, so Pinterest also gives you another option, another way of uploading things. So you can click on this button here and you can create a pin. Now look, Pinterest loves it when the images are like this. So you might have images of your products or services on the website and they might be a square or they might be a rectangle. And so if you want to get better exposure on Pinterest, then you really want your images to be this kind of a rectangle. Just say you do kitchen renovations and your images are all kind of like this, then you could edit the image to create one that's this kind of shape, upload it, put a link to the page on your website where the other pictures are of this kitchen renovation. You can tell people what the pin is, you can add a title here, you can select what board you want it to be on, and you can publish it. So this is another way of putting pins on Pinterest so that it might be far more effective than having, a square or that sort of shaped image. So yeah, so again, basically with Pinterest, the key thing is to add a link in the profile. You then have the ability to pin images from your website, or you can do what I show you and upload images that are more Pinterest friendly. And you can add these on an ongoing basis. So every time that you create a link to your website from any of these social media profiles, in the majority of cases, these links are what is called no-follow links. So they don't necessarily, we don't really know, but we think that no-follow links probably don't really pass much juice over to your website. But what they can bring, especially from these social media accounts, is traffic. And that traffic can have an indirect positive impact on your SEO. Okay, so the last sort of social profile that we're going to look at is YouTube. So again, on YouTube, you want to really create a business channel and add the website link in your profile. Look, you can create a personal YouTube channel as well, but the key thing really is to have a business channel here. Again, a link from the personal channel would be great, but look, a lot of people struggle enough just to have a business channel for YouTube, so that if you can just create a business one, then look, that's fine. If you're really into making videos and you love the whole concept of making videos, then fantastic, have a personal channel as well. When it comes to YouTube, you can make service videos that are like just a slideshow of the services and products that you provide. And this could be images of your work, it could be written text on slides. And then in each of these videos, you're going to put a link to a page on your website. And you can also put all your social media links in there as well. You can also have product videos where it's a demonstration video. Again, the key thing in these videos is you're going to put a link to the product page in the description of the video. And then there's a whole stack of other videos that you could do if it was relevant to your website: recipe, how to, product, all of this kind of thing. But the key thing is that if you can just have a business channel with a link to your profile, then you're going to be ahead of the people that don't. So let's go have a look at YouTube. Okay, so this YouTube channel is going to be like my business channel, but it's also going to have my personal name on it because of the fact that I'm going to be doing ebooks on SEO. And so people are going to be going from those ebooks and then using videos on this YouTube channel. So it kind of makes more sense to have my name rather than the business name. But in the link to my website is obviously going to be the business. We go under the About section, then you can see that there's all different places where you can actually put links. So what we want to do is go up here into the Customize channel, and we want to go down here so until we get this little arrow here so that we can customize these links. Okay, so this first one here actually is where people can sign up to get local and e-commerce SEO tips. So I'm going to keep that the same, but then I'm going to say website, and put my website in there. Okay, so you can put all of your relevant links that are in there, but only the first 5 of them will actually show up on your channel, or up to 5 of them will show up on the channel. Okay, so now it's showing me all the links there. So that's what someone will see if they click on that page. And my 2 babies, Autumn and Mittens. So you can see that these links have now turned up over here on the side bit. And if we go into the About section, you can see that that's where the links are. Okay, so that's YouTube. So that would be the same on whether it's a business or a personal account. So I've been creating videos for a number of years. Mostly it was just sort of to help my clients with things if they needed them, or sometimes if I was trying to teach my staff how to do something. So like, you know, see some of these here are like 5 years old. Basically, the idea would be that when you create these videos, you will actually have this description section where you want to put a link to your website. So the main thing that I'm encouraging people to do here is to subscribe to the channel. But when you're creating your website there, you have this whole section here where you can add information in. So you can add in your website there, you can add in all your social media profiles. So I'm going to need to go through and like change all of that on all of these past videos. Oh, so much fun. But in any case, this is where ideally, based on whatever your product or service is, that you would want to have the link. So if this was a video about a kitchen renovation, then you would have a link here to the page on your website that has information about kitchen renovations. So then the bonus with the YouTube videos is that you can then go and share them on all your other social media platforms. You can add them to your website. You can do all kinds of things with these YouTube videos. But the key thing that we were trying to do was to create the channel and then get a link to your website. Thanks for joining us this week. Next week's video will be appearing on this screen when it's ready. So in this second part of week 1, we covered the basic keyword research and tracking, and also claiming your business profiles. And next week, we're going to look at getting way more votes for your website and how you can do that long term by getting backlinks to your site. If you found this useful so far, then please do pay it forward to somebody else who might benefit by sharing the link to this video playlist, which should be in the description below the video. Otherwise, make sure that you've already signed up for the written instructions, the checklist, and the notifications for the other future videos and our Q&As. And I'll see you next week.